Students, now let us have a look. We are into our board examination now, and all of you must be preparing very hard, and I'm here to help you all out how to revise smartly, because most of the time when I'm watching students prepare for their exams, last moment they start getting a little panicky and their revisions are not planned. They just take out certain topics or certain subjects at random, and they just turn the pages around, and then they start thinking that they will revise this, and suddenly they will be thinking a lot of things around lot of subjects. Sometimes the social studies will interfere with science thoughts, and the Hindi will interfere with the English thoughts. Therefore, the most important part, you still have time, the most important part for a smart revision is that plan your time, duration, subject and specific topic for revisions. Say for example, today morning I am thinking that I am going to revise maths, might be 8 to 10. Then you decide in maths what are the chapters I am going to revise. So you think, okay, today I will first revise statistics and then I will revise coordinate geometry. Then basically you go on the study table, you take your maths book, and it might be all what is required to revise coordinate, might be a graph copy will also be helpful, and you take those two, graph copy and maths book, and an answer copy and your geometry box, and rest of the things you just remove from your study table. I think so. There should not be anything which is other than mathematics over there in your study table. Keep the rest of the room whatever way it is, but keep your study table just independent. Whatever specific thing you want to revise, you take that and go there, and rest of the things you can leave it as it is, and then you sit down at the study table. So that is the first part. Then second part is that for first 10 to 12 minutes or 10 minutes might be, you have to write down what you are going to revise and what are the basic principles and facts over here, what are the formulas which is going to be used, and how the topics are divided. Normally in statistics, in standard 10, you have to study measures of central tendency, and you start with mean. So you write down what are the formulas you are going to use, or what are the formulas you are going to apply when you are solving a problem, and write down all the formulas once or twice and make your formula perfect, flawless. You never make mistake in that. You decide, you keep on trying sums till that time when you don't find that there is any mistake of your use of formula. Are you following what I said? Some children revise, they do a sum correct, might be they forget the formula, then they correct it or they rectify it, and then again they rectify it, and then again what happens, then they think that okay, my revision for this particular mean is over now. As soon as you have any doubt of using formula and you have not written the formula correctly, but you saw from your answer book and or your book, and then you corrected and you made the sum right now, let it be, you try to do a sum till you find that okay, now I am perfect with this formula and I'll never make mistakes. And so when you go to shortcut method, also analyze the formula. What does AM stand for? It is assumed mean. What is sigma FD? This frequency into deviation. Deviation over here, you write down it is X minus assumed means. That means class mark of particular class interval minus the assumed mean. So be very, very clear on your formula use, and what is written, you understand the meaning of that. Now here when you come, instead of deviation we have written U, that's okay. So what is U? U is X minus assumed mean, that is deviation by class size. So finally, so when you are using your formulas, you have to be perfect, and you remember also this thing that if your sum is coming negative, then this sign will change as negative. So that is the perfect way to revise first. And this is, I am telling you, these are firstly direct questions. These are not application questions. And I will again give you a trick that suppose you are doing mean, you try to find out a question and then you do mean from all the three, by all the three methods. By all the three methods you do the mean. And you see, if your methods are right, you'll get all the answers correct. Therefore, you don't have to look at the answer, because if these three are tallying, that means your answer is correct and your process is correct. Do these things till you do not need assistance to look back to the book for formula. Because maths, basically, a lot of children, when I'm correcting, I know that the child knew the method, but he did not use a correct formula. When a lot of time when I'm evaluating, I understand this child, the student has the concept, but he does not have the backup of formula. So, and he does not understand the basic principle of fact. So remember that. Then median, like even you can try to adjust with the formula by giving your own symbols to memorize it. Like median, here it is lower limit of the median class. So I've written median class. Then here cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class. A lot of children can make mistake over here. They sometimes put, because mean over here is sum of frequency, sometimes you may put sum of frequency here, but here you don't need the sum of frequency, it is the frequency of median class, and so on. And like mode, what I have done, you can see when you are using the digital part and you are using YouTube videos or something, you can maximize that and see what I have written over here. Frequency of the model class minus frequency of the class preceding the model class. P means the class preceding the model class, and here S means the class succeeding the model class. So on, then empirical formula, then median through the graph. After that, so that means you're perfect with the basic principle and facts. Then remember, then you will have some concept questions where you may be given missing frequencies. Those are very, very important, missing frequencies or double missing frequencies in mean or in median. So you ensure that these are very simple. If you can place whatever is given correctly in these formulas, you are bound to get the correct answer in missing frequencies also. Then you have median through graph, where you make less than and more than cumulative frequency curve and etc. So you do, and I am telling you, do quality studies. You don't have interference of other thoughts when you are revising. So suppose in 1 hour or 2 hours you revise that, and you think that okay, today I have to go for coordinator, because you have to know that you don't have any option that you can delay your preparations also. So enjoy your preparation, and then suppose you come to coordinate, then second thing I tell you, you write down the formulas, and also I told you what does each stands for. Like distance formula over here, distance, the two points are there, and the coordinates of the points are x1 y1 and x2 y2. So you remember these type of things. You have to ensure that you understand what does each mean. Here the section formula means a line is divided in a ratio of m:n, and then x1 y1 and x2 y2 are these sides, m is this side and n is this side. So basically I know you understand, but you have to even I'll tell you, when you're doing coordinate, you ensure that sometimes you can use the diagram. Like suppose they say that a point is equidistant from x-axis and the points are given. So on x-axis you should understand, you have to know that on x-axis the unknown points has to be taken x, 0. So you can draw a diagram sort of a thing on y-axis. You know that the point which is unknown is taken as 0, y, and so on. Similarly for midpoint formula, what we write is here. See, there is an application question where they can say you directly find out the midpoint, and 2 points will be given. That will be a 1 mark question. But then you have to also later on, after you have thoroughly revised, by getting direct questions where you use the formula directly, then you go for the concept questions. Like what is the difference between a concept question and a direct question? A direct question will tell you coordinates are given, at the end find out the midpoint. But for concept questions they can give you, okay, there is a parallelogram and whose coordinates I will just roughly write 4, 5, then here it can be 9, 10, here it can be -4, -3, and so +3, and so on, like that. Then you have to find out the unknown coordinate. Then this is a concept question. What you do is, you know that the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. That means this is the midpoint. By taking x1 and x2 by 2 you get this, and by taking y1 plus y2 by 2 you get this, and then by taking a plus 9 by 2 is equal to this, and b plus 10 by 2 is equal to this. So basically I know, you know what I am trying to tell you, that there will be direct question, and then if you are very balanced with your preparation, you will know that it is a concept question, but it is direct. You have to understand that diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So these are the few facts. And secondly, please, boards written work is important. You don't have to just a lot of time. What happens is, you as a child, I understand children, you must be playful, you must be little bored of studies, but this is the high time. I'll tell you, this is a high time where you have to tell yourself, this is the most important time for myself, my career, and therefore I should enjoy this. I should enjoy this hardship. I should enjoy this, and therefore you don't have to tell yourself that by turning the pages of maths and science, or might be any other subject, you have really revised. That you sometimes tell, I know this sum, so I don't need to revise, but that is the basic difference. A lot of time, when again I'm telling you, when I'm correcting, I see most of the time a very intelligent student who is nearly approaching to 100% mark, suddenly I see calculation mistakes, but that calculation mistake is due to the lack of written practice. It's a lack of practice, And then finally, once you on one day you have revised two chapters, and might be within 5 days you have revised all mathematics. Once again, if you have time, you go through, pick out all the questions, or might be the same day, pick out all questions of statistics from the sample paper. You have got a book, might be a question bank, in which sample papers are there, 1 to 10, say for example. So take out all the questions of statistics and coordinate geometry and start solving them. So you don't have to solve the whole sample paper 1 for 3 hours of one day, and you get lots of mistakes. Then instead of that, if you have time, first solve the topic wise questions on the sample paper, and then last, if you've got 3 to 4 days left when you are specifically revising only for one subject, say for example for maths you've got a gap of, say for example, 5 days, then you are specifically revising maths, then that time you do your sample paper. The same thing applies, children, for science also. As I said, in science also, you got to write down, say for example physics, if you are doing, you got to write down a light, what are the, so first you try to tell yourself light is divided into these parts. It is reflection, refraction and dispersion, etc., and it is human eye. And then in light, you should understand how to make the ray diagrams, you should understand the formula for mirror, formula for lenses, and then so on. First you should write the formula correctly. I don't think so. For mirror you will use 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. You will be wrong. For mirror it will be 1 by f is equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u. A lot of time again during the correction, when I have been in the correction work, or I have been trying to monitor the correction works, then I don't look at how the teachers are correcting. I basically go and look how the child, where the child has made mistakes, and I find that brilliant children also sometimes, due to the lack of written practice, they do not write the correct formula, and even they are thinking to write 1 by f is equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u, a little bit of here and there, and they will write it negative for mirror, and then what happens, the whole operation was successful, but the patient did not survive. That is the situation. So children, all the best from Sanjay Joseph. Remember, my experience is of 26 years of teaching basically. I've been evaluating and correcting some of the papers, and as a principal, when I was a principal, I was having a look on, I am concerned about children. I want to, normally during my principalship, I was getting inside the classes and I was looking at the children, and I could understand the correct way of guiding them is very, very important. The correct way of revision ensuring that they enjoy. So enjoy your examinations, children. And how can you enjoy? It is not just worrying about it. It is just not worrying about it. It is getting on the study table and do your part, and layer by layer your strengths are built up. The way layer by layer weaknesses are built up, the layer by layer the strengths are built up. People who win are skilled, but at the same time they have practiced. And people who lose are also skilled, but they have not practiced. That is only difference between defeat and win. So children, get motivated. All of you, all the best. All the best to all my students and all the students of each of the school. I've been there at St. Michael's, at Open Minds, Danapur, at Jaipur School. My teachers, I hope that you will ensure to share this video and keep in touch, and any problem you can ask me. God bless you. Have a nice day. More videos to come soon on YouTube, so you can subscribe my channel. Thanks.